this? I'm so hot. The subway is so hot. Like I woke up really early and I've just been sweating all day, like sweating all day. Like, lady, let me tell you something. All you older women out there, older women, as in older women that have gone through menopause, I'm going to say you're very mean and evil because you've not, informed the younger women of the pain and suffering that will go through. I've always heard women go, I'm having menopause and I feel really terrible, right? Or but they never told you what that was.
They don't say anything.
No, nothing, right? So my first experience with menopause was one night at about 2:30 in the morning. I woke up in a pool of sweat. And I jumped out of the bed and I was like, what the hell is going on with me? And I'm pacing around my apartment because I'm like, am I sick? Am I dying? What's going on? Do I need to go to the hospital? And it was like a little bird whispered in my ears, maybe you're having menopause. And I was like, oh, that's nothing. I can handle that. So I went back to bed. And so it's as it's progressed, it's gotten worse and worse. And I thought I was through it. And then my period came, the last egg, the forgotten egg that was stuck in the corner of my ovary, fertilized itself. And I had moments of reprieve. I was good. I wasn't sweating. I was like, it's over. And now it's come back.
Now you're back in it.
Now it's back with a vengeance. And I'm just like,
is it awful?
It is the worst experience. I mean, like you sweat. The only place that doesn't sweat is my knees.
The front of your knees?
My knees. Back? My knees. Like what's this between my elbows? Like literally the water will run down and fall on the floor. That's how sweaty I get. It's awful.
That's awful.
I don't know. Sweaty might be good when you're having sex, but I don't know.
But not when you're just walking around.
No, not when you're just walking around. That. It's quite when you're at a meeting trying to talk to people.
Yeah.
Well, any case, so my weekend, I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. My Thanksgiving was awesome. Thank you, Ken from Washington Park, for inviting me to your absolutely beautiful, amazing house with the swimming pool and the big garden and all that kind of stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you to your friends for inviting me. And it was just really wonderful. Thank you for that. Such a gentleman. And so tonight I have Madhuri. Do I ever say it right?
You can say it. I say Madhuri.
Madhuri. I say Madhuri.
Well, you have like a pretty accent.
Yes, Madhuri. Madhuri is a writer. How did I meet Madhuri? We met, I don't know how many years ago, when we were all young and tender.
Very young.
And I was menopause free.
You were newly divorced.
I was newly divorced. And I was a real estate broker, doing up Clinton Hill in Fort Greene. And Madhuri and her then husband at the time were one of my customers, and they became friends. And
you found us a few apartments.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
We moved a lot.
Yeah, you guys moved a lot. What was that about?
I don't know. You'd have to ask him. We moved all the time. I don't know anyone that's actually, I don't know anyone that, I think we counted it one time. It was around 18 moves.
In how many years?
Not
a lot of years, because it was like you would live a year or just up to when it was.
There's one apartment in Prospect Heights. We took our stuff from Fort Greene, drove over there. It was 346 Vanderbilt Avenue. Brought it upstairs and put it back in the truck and went back to Fort Greene.
Right.
So we were there for like a day.
You hated the apartment.
Like a few minutes.
Why you hated the apartment?
I mean, yeah, he did. Yeah, it wasn't a good thing. So we had a lot of moves.
You did have a lot of moves, but I made a lot of money out of you. So, if you wanted to move,
a lot of
hey, that was your business.
Fees,
I made a lot of brokers. Thank you for my lifestyle.
Yeah. We kept you in that nice apartment.
You kept me in a good apartment, and you kept me well dressed.
Yes.
And well vacationed.
Yes.
It was wonderful. So now Madhuri is a grown woman with a child and one divorce behind you, and books.
There's only going to be one divorce. Like, you say it as if there could be more. There's only going to be one because I'm not ever.
Well, you never know. There could be more.
No.
Okay.
No, the only way you can get divorced is to get married again.
Right, that's true.
That's not.
And now she is a writer. So, Madhuri, welcome to the show.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way. Would you say that you're living life your way?
I would say I'm living life my way.
I would say so
Yes.
too. I loved your. Most of the time, clients have, they fill out forms before they come on my show, and I usually have a lot of information about them. But I never really read the information online.
Oh no, I
But
don't remember what I
loved-
wrote.
I loved what you wrote, and I just want to see if I can pull it up.
Do
real
I want to
quickly.
know this?
No, it's great. I love what you wrote. It was poetic. It wasn't just. It was really good. I hope I can write it. I hope I find it. No, that's not it. Here we go. Show questionnaire. I hope that's the right one. Responses. Individuals, 43. Yeah, so Madhuri is guest number 43 on my show.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, you're guest number 44 on my show. Last week we were talking about sex.
Like President Obama, 44.
Yes. You are President Obama for me on my show.
am.
I had Lisa Eve on the show. Do you know who Lisa Eve is?
Mm.
She's running for Attorney General of New York City. Absolutely
New York
wonderful.
State.
New York State.
Yeah.
Well, I always say city. I don't really.
Because that's all that matters to you.
Yeah, I don't really.
You
I
don't really see beyond.
No, I don't see beyond. I really don't. And like when I leave America, people say, "Wait, are you from America?" I say, "No, I'm from New York." Like New York is the world.
Oh, yeah.
So Madhuri writes, the question is, give us a short bio. So Madhuri writes, things as they pop into my brain, sometimes prose, sometimes poetry, all the time love. She's mad about whiskey. What kind of whiskey do you like?
I'm pretty simple. I drink Johnny Walker Black
Johnny Walker.
for the most
But there's,
part.
there's a great whiskey house in Clinton Hill now by, where they used to take the cars, where they towed your cars?
Yeah.
Right there.
Because I've been there many times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right in that little sort of like, sort of Victorian kind of like, structure. They make whiskey there now.
Oh.
And it's really good. And
Is it?
They make them in these little tiny half of flasks, and you can get a set of different whiskeys so if you ever want to go have whiskey, that's a really good place to go. So you like whiskey, tattoos. I see you have a few tattoos. How many tattoos do you have overall?
I don't know. I think like 18 or 19.
In hidden places.
Yeah. Not hidden, but you're not going to see them right now.
Right.
But on my back.
And then you like Marquis. What's Marquis?
Marquez. Gabriel Garcia Marquez.
Oh, okay.
He's one of my favorite writers.
Okay, Marquez, yoga, and you laugh constantly, say fuck a lot, right? And we'll dance. Hold on.
Are you reading my bio?
Yes, I am. We'll dance anywhere. You're an author of the middle grade series. What's that?
That's like middle school kid age group.
Okay. So you write for middle schools as well?
No, I write. That's a series I have, and then I have a paranormal romance trilogy,
right?
And or like a fantasy trilogy.
The Sanctum and the Fantasy trilogy.
The Keeper series.
The Keeper series. And when she's not
that one's kind of dirty.
That's dirty?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's very dirty.
Like how dirty?
Like very.
Like what? Like how dirty? Now we're gonna get into that because I want to know how dirty.
I think my son is.
No, your son cannot be watching
know,
this show. Okay, and then it's what is it when you're not right and you find yourself hanging with her trio of the boy magic, which is your kid, your pup, and the lizard.
Yes.
Is that a real lizard?
It is a real lizard.
Okay.
His name is Finn.
Ben?
He's great. Finn.
Oh, Finn. Oh my God, my friend's kids.
Like Finn Calrissian from
I
Star
got that.
Wars.
And you can follow her on Instagram and Twitter at Madhuri Writes. And what are you passionate about? So why don't you tell us what you're passionate about, and I'll check them off. What are you passionate about?
Words.
Right.
I love to write.
Mm-hmm.
I love to laugh.
Yes. You always love to laugh.
I do. I can't help it.
I love laughing too.
It's like my thing. I love to read.
Mm-hmm.
I like to hike. The beach.
Right.
Travel. I mean, pretty typical things.
Right.
But now I get to do them whenever I want,
Right.
so I don't have to
what
really
changed?
ask anyone. I think just being on my own. I mean, obviously, I'm a single mom,
Right.
so I have limitations. I can't just take off. But
how old's your son?
He's 10.
Oh, he's 10.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a big boy.
He's getting there.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in the middle. He's double digits. I guess that's what.
So he's not. Is that a tween? No.
No. Oh yeah, they might call. I don't know what they call themselves.
I think they're tweens. No,
yeah,
tweens?
maybe. Or 11 and 12 is tween. I don't know if they even use the.
They do, because I was talking about somebody the other day who his son would say, "I'm not something anymore, Dad. Now I'm a tween."
Oh yeah. I remember my stepdaughter said that to me and her dad, my ex,
when
she was little. That.
So you're free to do whatever you want to do within
yeah,
reasons.
I don't have to. It's nice not to. I don't know. I'm not accountable to. I'm accountable to myself.
Right.
So as long I am free to kind of focus on myself within the constructs of being a mom.
Right. So do you guys have shared parentage?
We do. Well, yeah. He's going to start spending one day a week with his dad, and then he's been spending one day of the weekend with his dad.
Right.
So he's with me most of the time, and then he goes and hangs out with his dad and has fun, and I'm probably boring and dad is fun, whatever.
So who's compensating, dad or mom?
No, but I mean, he's also a really cool kid. So we have a good time together.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if he would agree, but yeah, no, I think it's okay. Like I'm managing.
Right.
And also, my friend, I mean, it's to do this single mom thing also takes like the help from my family, who my family's not even around. I mean, my parents are in Georgia. My sister is in Chicago. So really I'm here by myself. Right. But I have an amazing group of friends.
Right.
And they're, and a lot of them have friends that have kids that are friends with my son. Right. So it's like takes a village.
Right.
I'm living that.
So we're going to hold that thought and we're going to come right back. It does.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Did you know you've been playing poker your whole life, even if you've never played a hand of cards? Hi, I'm Ellen Lakin, author of Poker Woman and host of the new show, Poker Divas. On the show, I talk about how poker strategy helps you win in business, life, and love. Tune in live every Thursday, 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network. Are you stuck in a rut? Negative thoughts, feelings, and conversations got you down? Hi, I'm Noreen Sumter, the Potentiator. Tune in every Tuesday at 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time and listen for new ideas on my show, Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way, on talkradio.nyc.
Who do you want to connect with?
Are you an entrepreneur or intrapreneur looking to build your following?
Welcome to our show.
Follow Me Friday with Joan
and Priya.
Tune in every Friday at noon Eastern
on talkradio.nyc.
We're your digital connectors. Woo woo!
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
So we're back. This is Noreen on Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way. And tonight I'm speaking with Madhuri. I started to say Madhuri. Madhuri.
No, don't say that. That's definitely not my name.
Look, if I don't mess up your name, girl, I mess up everybody's name. If I don't mess
like
up your name,
thing.
we're not having a show,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah, it does take a village to raise a kid.
It does.
And we were just saying offline that if you had lots of money, it would be different. But I think that if you have friendships and friends who love you, that makes a difference as well, though, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. My friends are everything.
Right.
I love my friends. So that, yeah, like for me to, like a man I would date, he would
Right.
have to understand that my friends come first.
Your friends are very important.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about this sexy book. Little boy, go to sleep.
I think he's off.
Okay, good.
There's my girlfriend. She's like, we can see you.
Okay.
Sorry.
So tell me about this book. So now, first, before you go into the book, I want to know, to write a really dirty book, is it like channeled to you? Is it like, are you talking from, how do you write that book? How do you write that and keep going?
What do you mean keep going?
Like writing the dirty book, right? The book that is very, I'm not going to say dirty because it's not dirty, erotic,
Okay.
right? How do you write that book? How does it get generated?
You mean, did I really do all those things?
Well, did you?
I'm not gonna like say yet. It's just your
Imagination.
I mean, look, we've all been exposed to. I've been sneaking romance novels out of. My mom is a devout romance novel fan,
Right.
so I've been sneaking those. She used to keep a basket of Harlequin romances in the bathroom. I've been sneaking and reading through those since I was like 8 years old.
Are they that sexual?
No, I think but when you're 8, yeah, like that kind of stuff. And then that just leads one thing to another. I remember like in the 70s, every parent had The Joy of Sex on there. Like there's all kinds of books so we would sneak stuff like that. And then
look at the pictures and go, ooh, look at that.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that.
Yes. Yeah. And then you just keep reading and reading. So it's a combination. It's experience, it's imagination, it's what you get exposed to in film, be it like
porn,
regular film or porn.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's all kinds of, you're exposed to all kinds of things.
Right.
And then you can just take that. And if you have a good imagination and you know how to write a love scene, a sex scene, a love scene, any of that, then you can do it. I mean, there's an art to, I think there's a definite art to writing a really hot love scene.
Right.
I don't think every writer can do it.
Right.
So, I just happen to be really, I mean, I can write, I don't know if people like my,
well, what
I
do
have
people
no
say
idea
about it?
I mean, this trilogy didn't
sell.
It didn't. No, it didn't. It didn't really go anywhere at all. I think my previous trilogy did really well, but I also promoted it a lot.
Are you self-published?
The previous trilogy is self-published, and this trilogy, the sexy one, was with St. Martin's Press on one of their imprints. So that was like traditional publishing, and it went nowhere.
And why do you think that was? Did it need
I have no idea. I don't know. I guess people didn't like it.
So
I don't know.
So as a writer, like, would it be something that you would investigate?
It didn't get, I mean, I have no idea. It's one of those things I think as a writer, which I'm learning this also because it's unfortunate because I think the books are probably my best writing, especially the final book. But maybe 5 people have read them.
Really?
Especially the last book. I really don't think anyone outside of my friends and well, first of all, I told my family not to read it because it's so dirty. I don't want
mine to read it.
I don't want them reading it.
Right.
So, but
and then your mother has snuck and read it.
no, my mom stopped reading my books a while ago.
Really?
Like even my previous trilogy got a little too much for her.
My baby.
So yeah, she doesn't read. But this one, I don't know. It's unfortunate. It happens. And as a writer, I think you have to, or any artist, any art form, you have to learn to kind of pick yourself up. I'm not doing a very good job of picking myself up from it.
Right. Are you disappointed?
Yeah, I'm really well, because like I said, I think it's a good. I love the story. I love the characters. I think it didn't work. So. You move on to the next
do you think
project.
It didn't work for now, or is it something that could be picked up later? Because sometimes things like that
it might be like something, I could promote it better than the traditional publishing house.
Right. So
if I
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, you never know what could happen with it.
What would you like to happen with it?
I mean, of course, I want people to read it. I think it's good. It's a unique story. I like my characters but it's very important to me to write characters of color. And this is like, brown love, which especially the romance genre is so whitewashed. So. And it's becoming more diverse, right? But it just, so I think it's a really beautiful story about two really fucked up people who kind of make it work,
right?
But then it's also got fantasy elements to it because I love writing fantasy stuff,
right?
And yeah, no, I think it's a great.
So you're Indian descent, right? Is that right? Because I could never tell. I could never know. I didn't know.
No one ever knows.
It's like
even
right?
Indians,
right?
They don't claim me.
Because you don't.
They're always like, "Why do you have that name?"
What, Madhuri?
Yeah, and I'm like, because my parents are from India, and they're like, "Really, both of them?" So,
so like, who are you? Like that? Yeah, because you're more like a black girl.
Or I live now in a predominantly Spanish neighborhood, so people will say
you're Spanish.
It's really like wherever I live, like that. I mean, so you Spanish or
yeah, I tend to.
But I never get. I don't think
you never get Indian.
No, and like I said, even Indians don't. They never think I'm Indian.
Well, I don't really. I kind of think of you as just Madhuri. I never really think of she's.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. But some people would say that's a bad thing. Some people would say that I'm denying your heritage. Right.
I mean, I don't. I'm not what. I don't know what.
And
to
so when
say
you
about
write,
that.
do you write as in black love, brown love, or how do you write? Like, do you see black people or do you see Indian people? What do you?
Both.
Okay. So
I mean, as married, my son's father, my ex, is black.
Right.
So I think I see both.
Right.
And in this trilogy, the man is Indian and the woman is black.
Oh, cool.
So it's like a reverse.
Right.
And in the other books, the characters are more mixed. Like there's black, white, Indian, all kinds of.
Right.
But this trilogy in particular is almost, I would say all of my characters are diverse
so now,
backgrounds.
How did you're an attorney, right? So what did you go to school for? I mean, other than law, when did you decide? Was writing one of your first loves and you went into law, or was law the first love?
No, my parents were like, you need to get a job.
Right.
But you have to go to law school.
Right.
Yeah. So, I had never thought about going to law school. I don't want to be a lawyer.
Right.
So
this was just so that you could survive. You could put food on the table.
Yes.
And
not be taking money out of their pocket every day. So yeah.
Basically,
and then I went to law school. I did well in law school. And I'm in a position right now at my firm that works well for me. I'm not, you wouldn't say I'm not like writing briefs and arguing cases. I'm more of like a litigation manager now.
Right.
So I manage teams of big litigation teams and oversee and put it all together and make sure things happen that need to happen.
So when do you do your writing? When are you most, I'm going to say, virile
in the morning,
in your writing?
and whenever I have time. I mean, lately I haven't. It's interesting because I used to write. I wrote all the time.
Right.
But I think it was as a kind of like an escape. There's one of my friends. I think it was more an escape kind of deal.
Right.
To kind of,
disappear from yourself.
Yes. And now that I'm like living my best life.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not so now I'm having to kind of teach myself discipline. So in the mornings I wake up, and even if I don't use what I'm writing, I force myself like an hour in the morning is devoted to writing. Like,
so do you do like Artist Ways? Have you ever heard of that book where what is it? Artist Way? The Artist Way, which like you sit and you do morning pages where you just write and write and write and write.
That's what I do.
Yeah. And it's nothing in particular.
No, I don't do that. No, like I'm working on 2 books. I'm editing another book. So I pick one of those or I write poetry. So something, but I have to be right. I have an hour. I wake up at 5:30 and from 5:30 to 6:30, I do that. And then 6:30 to 7, I kind of do whatever I want.
Right.
But I mean, a lot of times I don't. That's another thing I'm noticing is I'm not liking what I'm writing. So, this is all new territory to me because it all used to come so easily, and now I'm having
your escape.
Yeah, and now I'm having to kind of but I'm not really complaining because I've been enjoying I've been reading a lot more. I'm spending time with I think it'll come back to me because I do it all the time. Like I love to write. I just have to kind of buckle down and also get my confidence back after.
So we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
Are you into comics, movies, and pop culture at large? What about music and TV? Then you're in for a treat. This is Michael Dolce, your host on TalkingAlternative.com. I've been professionally writing comic books, screenplays, and music articles for almost 15 years. Catch my show, Secrets of the Sire, at its new primetime slot, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and get the inside scoop on the pop culture universe you love to talk about. For more info, go to secretsofthesire.com.
Are you feeling unhappy with your body, shape, or size? Ever feel out of control with food? I'm Elizabeth Tripp, your host of Nourish the Soul. Join me to uncover the root to these imbalances and discover a permanent solution to living a healthy life. Join us every Wednesday at my new time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
Talking Alternative Radio, 24 hours a day.
This is Noreen Sumter, and we're back on Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way, and we are with Madhuri. Hey, Madhuri. So we're back. So we've decided that you're just going to remarket the book.
Yes, that's what we've decided.
No more.
No more of that.
Do that for the last time.
Yes.
And be
This is the
done with
last
it.
time.
Yeah, because you know what? I think that like you have to find your chops again. You have to find your stream, your download. I always believe it's a download, right? You get a download of energy. You start to like chat stuff starts to come in. Because I think like your characters are like people in the ethereal, and you actually start to put skin to them and face to them and characters to them and things like that. So I think that what you might consider doing is just like sit in and let that go and start writing something new.
Start doing something new.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of things I'm working on, but I think I just need like something has to, the same way that trilogy kind of, I was walking down the street. I think I was walking my dog one day, and the main concept for the trilogy came to me randomly.
Right.
And then I was driving down the highway one day, and the main character came to me.
Right.
So I think I'm also kind of waiting to be inspired.
Well, you can't wait
the
to be
same
inspired.
way.
You kind of just have to step
I have
into it.
So I have a lot of ideas. It's just that nothing's really grabbed me so far.
You know, I this weekend I went to Abraham Hicks. Have you ever heard of them?
No.
Abraham Hicks is an entity. They're an entity of spirits that come together, and they get channeled through this woman that's called Esther, right?
Okay.
And
wait,
so,
where did you do this?
This was in Connecticut. So I went to Connecticut. They have these books.
Is it like a seance?
No. They have this book called Arcs and It Is Given.
Okay.
Right. And they have this other book called The Vortex. Actually, we might have it here, right, Sam? Arcs and It Is Given, right? And so it's like our responsibilities as, it's law of attraction, but better than the one that, because this has been going on for years.
Okay.
And this law of attraction business is nothing new, right? So what it is that she says that you ask, so my next book,
you ask the universe?
Yeah, you ask, right? And then your job is now to receive, right? Because the universe, first you ask, universe accepts.
Okay.
And then your job is to receive. So you step into receiving, you expect it. You expect this new character to come in. You expect to be inspired with this new book. You don't
I should walk around with that attitude.
With that
You're
attitude.
saying I have the wrong attitude.
Like it's almost like you're catching butterflies from in the atmosphere, right? In the universe. And so like you just put your net out there and just whip in that energy. And
so if I give off the right energy,
yes,
it will come
and
to
stand
me.
in. But you can't operate from negative to try get positive, right? So you had this disappointment.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to let go and release that disappointment. Allow yourself to mourn it.
Oh yeah, no, I've
let
done
it
that
go,
long enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Let it go and then step into a new creation. Because if you don't let it go, because like it's a block, it's almost like you're straddling the door. I want something new, but I'm not going to let go of the old.
Yeah.
So you have to let go of the old to bring in the new. And so you have to just ask. So I'm ready now to write a new book and be in that space and then accept it, receive it, and then just let it happen. Yeah, I'm telling you, it works. I completely.
I mean, I think you're probably right.
Because it's like you were probably excited when you were writing this book.
I was really excited.
Mm-hmm.
I was.
Right.
I was.
And
I thought it was really, especially book 3. I thought the writing was some of my best writing.
Right. And so was it like you rushed home to finish up writing, or you were writing in your head all
I was
day
writing
long?
all the time.
Right.
Yeah, and then that one I had to finish it under some ridiculous 8-week deadline.
Paul,
was
the
crazy.
book is called Ask and Is Given, and it is by Abraham Hicks. And your book is tell them the name of your book.
Oh, the series is called The Keeper series.
Right.
And
where can people find it?
On Amazon.
Okay, so you can go to Amazon and find it. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, Paul. That is Paul Sequata McGuire.
Yeah.
Is that your friend?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So let me see what questions you asked me to ask you. You had some good questions. What is difficult you're experiencing in your career? My writing is still getting off the ground. Well, your writing is going to always be getting off the ground, isn't it?
I think
The
so,
life
yeah.
of a writer is always getting off the ground.
No, I mean, some people are super successful.
Yeah, but after how long?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have no idea. I'm not, I mean, that's fine with me. I have a day. I mean, I'm a lawyer.
Right.
So.
Are you a lawyer who writes or a writer who is a lawyer?
No, I'm a writer who is lawyering to pay the bills.
Right.
And then I have, you know, my son.
Right.
So it's I would love to just be able to write, but I mean, I also like my health insurance and my Equinox, my gym membership at Equinox. So I'll keep lawyering for now.
So you're gonna have to probably. But that's good though, because it's not like I hate my job.
I work a lot of hours,
Right.
but I mean, it's, you know, it also provides me. I'm able
Paper.
to take time off to write, and yes, and I have like a fancy gym membership, and I hang out with my friends. And I can travel,
Right.
so it's a give and take. You have to like balance it out.
Right.
Lately, it's been more work, more of the lawyer stuff than
Mhm.
I would probably like, but that's life.
Well, it's your life, and you get to change it if you want to. Yeah. 'Cause you can do
Yeah.
more writing.
That's what I'm going to go in tomorrow and tell Paul Weiss. I'm going to be like, you know what? I was on a radio show last night, and they said, if I want this to be my life, this is what I got to do.
Right.
No, I mean, right now I'm in a good place. I have a client that's not as demanding. So
Right.
I have been able to do a little more writing in the last couple of weeks
Right.
and take some more time.
And
for
writing is
myself.
something you could do for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
writing is one of those things that you might hate it, what you've written, but people might just absolutely love it.
Well, why would you put anything out there that you hate?
No, but you said that you don't want, and hate is a strong word. Let me rephrase that. Back up, rewind, right? So you might not think this is your best writing, right? And then people would read it. It's like I saw.
Oh, yeah, but I think you can probably see any writer you read as they grow
Mhm.
through their novels. You can probably see changes and
Right.
improvements.
It's like art, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, there's a
you would
series.
make adjustments. You learn your craft.
Mhm.
You know, learn your voice.
Mhm.
Everyone has a different voice
Yes.
they write with. So I don't know. I mean, I'll see. I'm growing.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I'm also I'm old. I don't know. I mean, I'm not old.
If you are old,
but-
then I'm like
well,
geriatric.
You're a little older than I
No, I am.
We're not
honey,
that
I will never
far
be
apart.
old.
I'm
I
not
will be
old,
older.
I'm older.
But never old.
But I'm
is-
not like I see a lot of like young. I feel like I know a lot of writers who are like young,
Right.
and they're really successful. Like
Right.
that's not going to be my life. I chose a different path.
Right.
You know, I went to law school, so
So, do you think that it is something that you will do for the rest
but
of
it
your
makes
life?
me happy. Yes, I mean I've written since I was a little kid.
Right.
I always did like stories. I had notebooks full of like stories for my girlfriends I would
Right.
write in high school. Like I've always written. So
Mhm.
even if I'm not making money off it, I haven't made any money off of
Right.
any of the books I've
Do
written.
you want to
I've
make money
written
off of it?
8 books and I've not made any
Yet.
money off them.
So,
So it's not like I'm doing it for the money. I'm
'Cause there is
certainly
none.
not famous. I'm not. So I just do it because I love to write.
Right.
And then we'll just see what happens.
absolutely. And that's
But
exactly.
I love to write.
I'm not making any money off of this show unless you guys out there in Radio Land want to pay me. But I'm doing this show because I'm inquisitive. I'm curious about people's lives. I want to know what actually makes people tick. You've been writing since you were a little girl, right? So this is a passion
I
that
love-
is
yeah, I
in
love
your
it.
that's in your being,
Yes.
right? And
So I'm not going to not do it just
Right.
because I don't make
you would
money
do it
off
whether you make money or not.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a good thing. That's a passion. So that book that you will write that people can pick up will be one that you just write from passion and it'll just hit.
Yeah.
And I think most prolific writers, it happens like that. They write some books, they have some feelings that they want to share, some stories that they want to get out, and somebody reads it, likes it, and next minute, Bob's your uncle, they're famous.
Yeah.
Or the like Eat, Pray, Love. That was just like, Eat, Pray, Love. She went on a trip and then wrote about it. And next minute you knew, it was like all over the place.
Bestseller.
Yeah. So you just don't know.
Yeah.
And you're writing fiction, which is a whole nother genre, right? Fiction and fantasy and sex.
I'm trying to write some nonfiction.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll probably fictionalize that too.
Fictionalize your real life.
Yeah.
So what would you tell a person who is starting out, who has written all their life, but maybe they're a secret writer, they just don't, what would you tell them to do?
In terms of just keep writing.
Just keep writing. And what would you tell? Because a lot of people are self-publishing, because I've seen some self-publishing.
Everyone, I did it.
Uh-huh.
It's great. You have more control. As long as I think now people who self-publish, it's pretty serious. Like people use editors, they have nice book covers. There's all kinds of services. So it's very different than
back in the when.
Yeah.
When you just went to Kinko's.
Yeah. Or I remember the first book I wrote, I used some company called Paper Tigers. I don't even know. But yeah, I got a lot. I sold a lot of copies of that book. And I had fun doing it. I think I have more fun doing it on my own. I don't know. But that can also be because I've never had the right situation.
Right.
Like I haven't had the right deal. So I haven't been in the right situation where you feel like everything is this is the best way to present my work.
Right.
I haven't been in that situation. So
and what would it take to be in that situation?
I don't know. I think I don't know. The stars align. I have no idea. I don't know. I think people have all kinds of. I think for me, even if only 3 people read it, if they love it, then that's
if 3
okay.
people reads it and they love it, they're going to tell it to 3 other people.
Yeah.
And then it starts to multiply by then. So hold that thought, and we're going to go back and we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.
The best designs for your life start at home. I'm David Thiergartner, interior designer and host of At Home. Listen live Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as we talk to the very best professionals about interior design and the design that's all around us, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you feeling unhappy with your body, shape, or size? Ever feel out of control with food? I'm Elizabeth Tripp, your host of Nourish the Soul. Join me to uncover the root to these imbalances and discover a permanent solution to living a healthy life. Join us every Wednesday at my new time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on talkradio.nyc.
TalkingAlternative.com.
Hi, this is Noreen Sumter, and we're back on Beyond Potential. Back from Potential. Beyond Potential, Live Life Your Way, and we're with Madhuri. Madhuri. I love that. So, Paul, you asked the question. You wanted to know how Madhuri gets into with work and life and family and all that. How do you get into the creative space? He wants to know that.
I think you just do it. You don't have a choice. Well, for me, I don't. There's only so many hours in the day,
Right.
and I'm already devoting so many of them to being a lawyer.
Right.
And then when I come home and hang out with my son, so it's not even an option. I
Right.
just kind of, and then also it helps that I think for me it's easy because I write fantasy.
Mhm.
So it's easy to step away from my real life and just kind of
Step into
go into
fantasy.
this other world that I've created and just kind of lose myself there. And then once you get going, you know your worlds, you know your characters, I mean, some of my characters have like a rhythm. I know each character's rhythm to the way they speak.
Right.
So you just get lost in all of that. And it's so different.
So is it vivid? Does it feel
for me it is. I mean, for me, a lot of the way I write is rhythm. Like people might not see it on the page, but in my head, I hear a rhythm.
Right.
So once I have each character's rhythm, it's really easy for me to move around the different voices.
Right.
Because I tend to write both of my trilogies have several characters with
Right.
different lots of different voices. And I love having secondary characters that are significant.
Right.
Like they're not just wallpaper.
Right.
So
I can relate to that because I wrote a book called Ralph. It's like an adult type story, right?
Adult
like
meaning
but it's
sexy?
it's about this mouse, and his name is Ralph Tickle Mouse.
Oh.
Right. And I created him when I was in Jamaica.
Okay.
After reading a Ralph Lauren magazine.
Okay.
This whole thing, and it's a whole world. But Ralph Tickle Mouse lives in Fort Greene, and it was during the
Is this a children's book?
No, it's an adult. It's adult, but they're all mice, right? And there are characters in this. But as you were speaking, I remember writing this story. No, I've given it to a lot of people to read, and they loved it. Right? I just haven't done anything with it. But when I was writing it, the cat, there was Tomo, right? Tomo spoke like that, and he had lots of children. And all of them looked like him, and one had all his children, like 500 children, and they had a lazy eye, right? And they all wore weird glasses, but I could actually see them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I can see I know what my characters look like.
Right.
For sure.
You can actually, and you actually see them. I actually saw his house. He lived in Big Man's house, right? So he's a mouse. Of course, he's squatting. He's a mouse. He's made his home in somebody's house, right? And he can't walk around the house like it's his. He has to creep around the house to go in, and he needs to go on vacation. It's this whole thing, but inside of writing it. So I can relate to what you're saying, because I could see the whole world of mice. I could see mice on the subway. I could see mice going up to the Bronx. I could see mice in the barrel. He had to go to he went to Jamaica on a trip inside of a barrel. Why did he do that? Because West Indians send barrels to Jamaica.
That is nuts.
It is straight up nuts, but it is a really funny, and I've given it to people to read, and they've loved it. But I haven't done anything with it. But I can relate to what you're saying, because you do, honestly, if this was 100 or more years ago, we'd been in mental institutions.
Yes. I remember our own.
I guess that's where, you had a lot of writers in mental institutions, because,
especially women, that would be the first place they'd put you.
Right. So, yeah. So I hope that answers your question, Paul. She just gets on with it, and she can actually
just
do it. Right. So let's have a look and see what else is there that we can talk about from Madhuri's creativity and her life. So let me ask you another question. If there was anything else that you would do in your life, what would that be? What would you do if there's anything else? I don't have a
Besides
plan B.
writing?
Yeah.
I don't know, be like a yoga instructor in Tulum. I have no idea. I said a yoga instructor in Tulum, like live on the beach.
Right.
I don't know, own a restaurant, like own a bar on the beach.
Right.
But yeah, I can't imagine not writing.
Right.
It's what I would want to do first. Maybe be Beyonce.
Oh God, she's taken. All right. So, if you were to die and come back as a person or thing, who or what would it be?
Who would I come back as?
Yeah. Who or what would you come back as?
Oh God, like somebody's really pampered dog. I don't know, the way people are with their pets. It's like a nice life.
So you'd be a pampered dog. So you'd ride around in one of those doggy carts.
Yeah.
You'd get your hair
and
done.
I'd get my hair done, go to the spa, eat really nice dog treats, go to the dog park. He wants me.
Oh, sorry about that. I just got into that for the moment.
Yeah.
I used to take one of the little kids that my friend's kid, I was like, the village, right? So he really loved dogs. And so one day he said, Noreen, will you take me to the doggy daycare? So I took him to the doggy daycare and there were all these dogs. And I said to the woman, oh, Umdi just wants to, play with the dogs. So she let these two little tiny terriers come out to play with him. And they were yapping and jumping around his feet. And he screamed his head off, right? And I said to him, I thought you liked dogs. When we went outside, I said, what happened? He goes, he's 16 now. He says, I don't know. I screamed like wild animal. He was so afraid.
So scared.
Yeah. He goes, Noreen, I don't know what happened. I screamed like wild animal. I nearly fell out, but I had to introduce him slowly to dogs. So once he got the hang of it, it was like,
I would be actually my girlfriend Nora. I would be her dog.
You would be her dog.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the way she treats her dog, he's gone to drinks with us. How
big is he?
He's huge. We go and we pick it after we leave work. We go pick him up from doggy daycare, and then he comes and he has drinks with us. He chills out. So I want to come back as
Nora's dog. Okay, let Nora know that.
I will.
Who are your real life heroes?
My mom and my dad. I say that as like an afterthought.
Huh?
I don't mean it as an afterthought. But no, my mom and my dad. Right. Honestly, my mom, and I said this, I think, in one of the dedications of my books,
right, that
my mom kind of instilled a love of words in me, and my dad gave me the freedom to be who I am.
Cool.
Most Indian kids, especially my dad's a surgeon.
Right.
So most kids grow up, and I'm the oldest. I don't know how I didn't wind up in med school, because that's usually what happens. And they didn't do that. Right. So they kind of let me forge my own path to a certain extent. Right. They did make me go to law school, but but I think, for the most part, he gave like a freedom.
That was probably a big deal for him.
I don't know. We've never really
have you ever been to India?
Down. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. Last question before we close out. Why write?
Why not?
Okay. Good answer.
And because I have to. I have lots of ideas in my head. Sometimes, I keep a notebook by my bed because I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I know I have the worst memory. Like I won't remember it in the morning. So I keep a notebook and a pen so I can write things down right away and then just go right back to sleep. So sometimes words like wake me up in the middle of the night. So
hey, Madhuri,
put us down somewhere,
So we have 2 minutes left of the show, and I want to thank you so much. It was such a pleasure seeing you. Was it last year down on.
Well, we bumped into each
Yeah,
other,
you
right?
heard my voice.
Randomly, yeah.
You heard my voice.
But before that, it had been
years.
like 15 years.
Yeah.
Like a really long time.
Yeah.
So
it's
yeah, it was
really
a
great.
chance.
So it was meant to be.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
It was great. It was fun.
And I love reading your poetry and stuff like
Thank
that. I read them. I
you.
love your site.
Thank
So
you.
give people your Instagram handles.
Everything is at Madhuri Writes.
At Madhuri Writes. So
Instagram and Twitter. I'm not really on Facebook.
Right.
Oh, MadhuriWrites.
Madhuri Writes. So
and then my
Paul-
blog.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
you want my blog?
Sure.
This is so like self-promotion and I hate it. My blog is Madhuri Pavamani.wordpress. Oh God, I don't know. It might be WordPress. MadhuriPavamani.wordpress.com.
Spell Pavamani.
Pavamani.
A lot of A's.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank
Madhuri,
you.
for coming on. And until next week, we'll see you on Beyond Potential. Live life your way. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Talking Alternative Network.